Here's a look at the top half of the Premier League standings. Sunderland still in the top four, level on points with Bournemouth as well as Liverpool. And Liverpool is exactly where I want to focus on. I know you were definitely pleased with that win. You weren't that hopeful going into the weekend, but we've seen Arne Slot make his tweaks. This time he went back to some tried and true combinations. Andy Robertson back in, Dominic Szoboszlai up in that number 10 role. So when we're looking at Liverpool's best 11, it's not looking like it's including the likes of Isak or Wirtz. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'd have to say rightly so. You know, neither Isak or Wirtz have done anything on the field of play to suggest that they should be in front of anybody else. Certainly Isak, when he's had the opportunity, hasn't done what Ekitike has done. Ekitike scored goals. Ekitike has actually been somewhat of a focal point going forward. So if you're Isak, you can't have any complaints. And Wirtz is the same. Wirtz was brought here to unlock defences, connect passes, create, and he hasn't done any of that either. So neither of those two, if they're 100% fit, really deserve to start. I think Robertson has to start at the weekend. I was hoping he would against Villa. He did. And it made the back four not solid, but it made them a little bit more organised. They kind of looked a lot calmer. You know, when Kerkez is there, everybody seems to have the jitters. Nobody's sure what he's going to do. And when you don't know what any of your back four are doing, it upsets everybody. So, yes, it was better, but I'm with Mario. There's still a lot of work to do with that back four. That's the real Achilles heel for Liverpool. They have quality going forward. It's a case of getting to know each other better. It's a case of making better decisions and taking your opportunities. But from a defensive point of view, they've got a long, long way to go.
Now, as I said, Stevie was absolutely bricking it, trying to come up with a positive result for Liverpool this weekend. I think you went for a draw, Stevie, didn't you? But they got the win in this one. But how are you feeling about this matchup? Liverpool against Real Madrid on Tuesday in the Champions League. There's not much to separate the two in terms of picking out a clear favourite by the odds. But Stevie, how important is this game for Liverpool? Looking stressed again.
Again, I said it before the Villa game. For me, it was more about the performance rather than the result. Yes, we all want to win games. But in order for Liverpool to get to where they want to go, it has to be about the performance. Because if they keep producing performances, then they'll start to get victories and then be way more consistent. So I'm kind of going along the same lines with this Real Madrid game. I don't think there's any question. Real Madrid have to be favourites. Whether this is at Anfield or not, they have to be favourites. The way they're playing and the way Liverpool are playing. So again, I'm looking for a performance. I'm looking for the front line to be direct and be exciting and make better decisions, as I said. But I'm also looking for the back four to get together and be as one, be a unit. Because they're going to have to against Real Madrid with the firepower they have got going forward, particularly your man Mbappe. So, yeah, for me, this is about the performance.
Well, I know you say it's about the performance, but I do want a result prediction from you, a scoreline. Come on, Stevie, give me something. Under the lights at Anfield, Champions League.
2-1 Real Madrid.
Oh,
that hurt.
He's been broken. Our
That
Stevie is broken.
You can only talk about what's in front of you. And what's in front of Liverpool right now in Real Madrid is a team that is way better than them. So, yes, you're at home. You have to try and get some advantage through that. But at the end of the day, you've got to produce when you're on the field. And Liverpool, defensively, have been way, way off producing anything.
Shaka, is that your prediction as well?
I'll probably go 2-0 Real Madrid, in all honesty. And listen, as Stevie said, Real Madrid are favourites for me as well going into this one. Liverpool's big issues defensively, and as much as Robertson's come in and done a job, now all of a sudden you're asking him to play two games in a week, the second of which being Real Madrid. That's a huge ask for somebody who you bought a player in Kerkez to replace this summer. And then going forward, and while we could sit here and talk about Mo Salah getting on the score sheet and that 2-0 result against Aston Villa, the first was a goalkeeping error. Can't describe it any other way. The second came courtesy of a huge reflection. So while it was a step in the right direction for Liverpool let's be honest, given where they were, I don't think it's a big enough step for them to deal with the likes of Real Madrid. And then counter that with Real Madrid, who I think have looked better defensively over the last couple of weeks. And I'm kind of looking back at that Atletico Madrid performance and how poor they were defensively. They've improved from there. And up front, and the form that Kylian Mbappe is in, Vinicius Jr. with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. Again, given Liverpool's defensive issues, I just feel Real will be too strong for them, even at Anfield.
All right, well, Mario, it seems like you were Liverpool's lucky charm. Stevie Nicol might have to actually finally open his wallet to pay for your flight back there for this one. But what's your, not even, he says he won't even do it for that. But what's your prediction for this game?
I go with Stevie, actually. You know why? Because I saw the team play. I saw the team play, and I felt like Emre is very smart tactically. So with him opening that back line up and inviting, let's say, Virgil pushing up in the middle, it allowed them to play almost 1 against 1. And Watkins was just pulling them to the corner. If you're going to look now, Mbappe is... of course, it's a different kind of level of a striker. He has the speed and the skill. So you don't want no 1 against 1. That's what you have to be careful for. And Bradley is going to have Vinicius against him. If he keeps on bombing forward and going, because a couple of times he went, beyond Salah or going on the inside, you got to be careful. You got to really, really take care of your breathing, because if you attack too much and you get a one-on-one with him, he is waiting for that moment. So I hope they stay together, keep it compact, because they start doing that after 20 minutes. It was a very compact team. Then they got something. But away from that, yeah, Real Madrid is a better side at the moment.
Mickey and Jet came into my office yesterday unprompted, just said, I want to say sorry for the situation. They didn't want it to look bad or disrespectful or all kind of perception you can get in this beautiful media world. So that was not the intention at all towards me or the team or the club. They were just frustrated with the performance, the loss, and the booing during the game.
All right, Stevie, I'm going to come to you first in this one as a manager as well. This isn't Thomas Frank's first rodeo, so he knows to say the right things in front of camera. But behind the scenes, is this an issue at all?
No, absolutely not. And I think it's interesting that it comes on the back of Vinny last week.
Yeah.
Throwing his toys out the pram. Because with the Vinny situation, there is absolutely no other way to take what he did because of his behaviour and his attitude than what it was. It was clear what it was. This guy was not happy with the manager, not happy with anything at all to do with the situation. And so it's very straightforward for me to criticise Vinny like I did and think that Alonso really has to discipline him.
Mario, as Thomas Frank said and as Stevie said, look, frustrations boil over. Maybe we shouldn't take this, or Thomas Frank definitely is not taking this as personally as it looks. But when you look at Van de Ven, he was the captain for the day, as Stevie said, understandably frustrated with his own performance, I'm sure. But did his reaction or the way he reacted surprise you a little bit, especially knowing that he was wearing the captain's armband?
Look, sometimes people forget that we are emotional people. We are no different than anybody that doesn't play football. And we have emotions too. So sometimes that can get the better hand of us. But, the reaction of both players, or both individuals, we all been there, that we reacting in a certain way. But when you know you're wrong, and then you go in, the best thing you can do is have a one-on-one with your coach. Because when you do that, because you have a public situation with him, the best thing to do is stop the fire straight away, go in, tell him exactly what happened. That's what they did. They had a conversation with him. And I didn't meet the players, but I know Frank. Frank is a very strong character. So if they wouldn't done that, he would have definitely calmed them or say something to them. But him coming out and saying, like, listen, guys, it moved on. It is what it is. And we keep on going, because the guys were disappointed. Sometimes people don't realize Spurs-Chelsea is a very, very huge game in London. This is like, especially when Chelsea comes there and they beat you at your own home. That is never likely. And me saying it because that's all we were always thinking about when we go there.
Well, they're going to have to put those frustrations aside because they're back in action midweek in Europe against Copenhagen, Stevie, and then they've got the small matter of facing Manchester United as well. But we won't get to that.
Well, that's 3 points for them then.
Oh, cheers. We will see about that. But that's a conversation for another day. Speaking of the two players, they definitely start this weekend. No issues.
No, not at all. No. Done and dusted, easy peasy.
Walton
Miscommunication, on you go. Next day, next thing, next question.
I think that's the thing too. And I, on yesterday's show, I was very critical of Jet Spence, especially. Van de Ven, he just kind of stayed out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think the players did the right thing in kind of preempting and going to see Thomas Frank about it. Otherwise, I think Frank has to address that within the dressing room. But once he does, that's it. You know, let's talk about club fines and whether they play. No, none of that was coming into play. I mean, I'm sure I speak for both Stevie and Mario here. We've seen far worse than that between player and manager. and you discuss it, you get your dressing down or whatever it is, and then you move on. You know, especially at that point, at the end of a game, you're home, you've just lost, emotions are running high. A lot is done and said in that moment that you wish you could take back. If you don't do as the players did and go to see the manager, he has to address it himself. But it's over as quickly as it became an issue.
But the same thing I say about words. When I saw both players active on the field, they are not fit yet, and they are both going through the first season in England, and they need to be fitter than what they were prior to come to the Premier League. Because if you're not that, you're going to have games like this, and it's going to take you a long time to get over it. Because if not, you're always one step late, and that's what I feel with him. When he takes, even when he played the ball back to Van de Ven, there comes a mistake between them, that's too soft. Then Caicedo, of course, he wins the ball. Things like that should not happen because that's not the player he normally is.
Well, Mario, you say he's just not fit enough yet, which for peasants like myself, you know, to wrap your head around that in a footballing perspective. We're talking about Premier League player here, and I know every league has different physical demands, but how long do you think it will take for him to get to that level? When will we see the best of Xavi Simons? Because he came with such promise.
He came with a lot of promise, but the speed of the game, you understand, sometimes people get surprised when they arrive in England. And I think, you know, the guys that are sitting there can explain it to you. When I came in myself, you know, it doesn't take long. It's like some of us, like especially, I mean, what I just highlighted to you, sometimes you see some run for 5 minutes, they are breathing like crazy. And I feel like when I watch him, he normally PSV, fit, demanding, but that's not the same tempo. When you look at Germany, Ekitike said it himself. He said, the game is so much faster in England, I have no time to think. What do you think he's going through? It's the same thing. Every time he gets the ball, you don't get a couple of seconds to think. You got to make things happen, especially because of the why they brought you there. You're playing in the area where Son was playing. He was always dribbling maybe 40 yards, 30 yards. He can't do that because that power he doesn't have yet. So he's got to build on himself and focus on that because he has the quality, but if he doesn't work on himself, we will not see it. And that's the only thing I can say to him.
You know, next time you watch both Wirtz and Simons, they're both doing the same thing. They're both, it looks bad because it looks like they're just giving the ball away. And the reason they're giving the ball away is because of the tempo that Mario's talking about. It means you get less time. And things close quicker than in different other leagues. And so by the time you've actually decided you're going to play this pass, because you're not up to speed with the tempo of the game, you still play the pass, but it's not on anymore. And it gets cut out. And then everybody's looking at the TV, grasping their hair, going, oh, why keep giving the ball away? That's the tempo that makes such a big difference for people like Simons and for Wirtz.
For me, I really enjoy watching someone that is like that, you know. It's not like just only do the nice things, but also when it really matters. And in games like this, you got to step up, and he stepped up. And he sets the tempo. And if there's any problem on the field, he will come and help you out. And that is the player you want in your team.
Xhaka, I know that there's a huge case for Erling Haaland because he's just in monstrous form right now. But when you look at what Moises Caicedo is doing and exactly how Mario described it, is there a case for him to be the MVP, the most valuable player in the Premier League right now?
I think there's a case for it, but he won't win it. Not if Erling Haaland continues scoring goals the way he has. Listen, you cannot There's a reason goal scorers are paid as well as they do, because that is a specialized skill. That being said, as far as defensive midfielders go, Moses Caicedo right now is easily the best in the league. This is shades of N'Golo Kante. And that is how important Caicedo is to Chelsea. That is simply how good he's playing for them right now. As we just saw in that goal, Caicedo wins the ball not once but twice. He hunts the ball down when 3 Spurs players are passing between themselves. He was the difference between Chelsea winning this game and just taking a point from it. He, right now, as I said, is the best in the league, easily Chelsea's most important player. And I'm not sure how you replicate that. I'm not sure how you find a substitute for that. He after a difficult first season for Chelsea, he simply has been outstanding.
Stevie, I see you shaking your head in agreement.
But Shaka,
Well, the thing is, we can talk about the big teams having deep squads. And we can look at Man City previous years where it doesn't matter who it was, they could take one off, put one on, and you didn't know the difference. The one thing you say with this guy is, Chelsea could have a squad of 100, and if he's not playing, they can't replace him.
Correct.
Yeah. Mario?
Yes. Yeah. No, what I wanted to say, like, I'm sure that Steve, Steve, you know when the derbies are there, you almost need a player that sets the tempo, right? And sometimes it's going to be like, from the first minute, it doesn't matter who's on the field. You look at one of the individuals, normally it's your captain, that either does a tough tackle or, wins the ball in a certain way, and we all look at each other and we go like, okay, guys, it's about this. And that is exactly what the Spurs-Chelsea game is all about. You need one individual in your team that sets the tone straight away, and everybody knows, hey, we came here to win. And I felt like Chelsea was playing that game to win. I did not think Spurs had the same mentality in the start during the whole 90 minutes. They had a different perspective. They were just holding and waiting and seeing. No, Chelsea was there to win, and Caicedo was one of the instakers to start that fight.
To the top of the Premier League, just a reminder of how things are looking, and it's Arsenal that are all the way at the top. And look at these numbers. I mean, numbers never lie, as they say, and Arsenal are just a fortress right now, especially at the back. So, Stevie, what is the blueprint to beat them? If they are to lose a game, what is it going to take?
It's going to take an impeccable defensive display from the opposition and taking the few opportunities that may come your way, because they don't give many away. And if you don't take it when it comes along, then you ain't beating Arsenal. It's as simple as that. They got plenty of power and pace and ability going forward. They got goals. But defensively, you just got to pray that they turn up one day and they're not quite at it, because you're not getting anything. Nobody has yet been able to cut this team open, regardless of whether it's making passes, balls in behind, set pieces, you name it. This Arsenal side is better than anybody so far this season that's come up against them. And it doesn't look like changing. So, yeah. How about a big slice of luck?
A big slice of luck, wow.
How about that?
All right, that's that. When your manager tells you that, I don't know how to line up. Mario, speaking about Jurrien Timber now, he's definitely been proving his worth, his versatility as well. Did you see him coming this good, though, especially when he plays out of a natural position?
He was a huge talent at Ajax. So, and both of them, because he's a twin, and him and his brother, and he's very close to Gravenberch. So during the COVID time, I went to watch them train, privately, because I know those guys. And so I watched them train, and I could see something in this kid that was different. First of all, when you train when you don't have to, for me, you're already special. And then he comes to Arsenal, but then he gets that big injury. After an injury, the hardest thing, people sometimes don't realize it, to come back to a certain level and to the level that he is now is extraordinary. And of course, sometimes you might want to play as a center defender because that's what he was playing for Ajax. But when your opportunity comes to the right, Alex, you got to take what you get. And the way he took it, Ben White was playing that position. So the way he knew he had to compete with someone for that spot. And now he has this opportunity. And he took it, and that's why I think at the back line, everybody got the right speed, and that makes it very difficult to play against. If you look at Calafiori, good speed, you understand? Saliba, Gabriel, and then you got him on the right. I think speed-wise, as a team, you know, defensive line, they all got enough to give you problems that you cannot just outrun them really easily. And I think that's one of their strengths of Arsenal.
Shaka, that backline we know has been protecting David Raya like the Great Wall of Arsenal. But if you're David Raya, you must get bored. You must just want to pitch up a seat and take a little nap during the game or something.
Think so.
Shaka?
No, I don't think so.
That's totally fine.
It's like a good problem, but
If you're David Raya,
give me something.
you are absolutely fine with that. And David Raya's role in his team is just to be the eyes in the back of everyone's heads there. And at times, that is almost a little bit more difficult in that when you go to training, you practice saving shots. That's what you do. You're up and you're down, and you make saves and you don't. But then when you come to games, and you can't replicate these match situations on the training ground. Seeing everybody's position, making sure everybody's in the right position. Saliba knows where Gabriel is, and he knows where Timber is, and if Calafiori goes for a little wander, how you adjust. And just making sure, as good a back four as they are, as understanding as they are, just making sure that they're in the right positions. You can't replicate that in the training ground.
yeah.
But that is as big a part of your job as a goalkeeper as making those big saves. And credit to David Raya. He's part of that. He's part of those statistics.
All right, so I guess he just practices talking to himself, to that back line, what you guys had for breakfast.
Concentration,
Concentration. Stay in the game. Anything to keep him awake, right?
Take some pressure off the players by saying that it's not their fault they didn't win the game or whatever happens in the game. You just try and use it to your advantage somehow. But what you can't do is be crying and blaming it. You know, the two decisions that happen. I mean, they happen a lot. The referee has got to try and see whether there is a millimetre of the ball on the white line, and then make a decision on it. You can't go blaming anything on that when he makes a decision when it's that tight. It's a toss of a coin whether you get it right or wrong in that situation. So, yeah, you just use it how you can, just to take the pressure off yourself and the team.
You know, if I'm Sean Dyche, I'm reacting exactly the same way as he did. You know, because it's drop points for your team. Now, as a neutral, as you know, once the dust settles, you know that these things happen, and while we have VAR, that's not under VAR's mandate. That's a decision that's made in the higher office. Those are decisions that each club get to vote on. So you know VAR does not interject in the case of corners. So you could argue all you want. But again, if it's me, and that happens to me, I'm kicking up a little bit of a fit myself as well. But I don't really have a leg to stand on, but that's all right.
Mario?
I just want to say, because I was waiting for Shaka to say it, if it was me, because I know if it was me, I would have lost my head too. Come on, if someone does that to you, you know, and they were, prior to this situation, you also have to remember where they come from, right? Dice took the job. It wasn't a winning team. So then you get your team to win a game, and then the next one, when you play against Man United, regardless if we say Man United is not, you know, at the moment the team that they want to be, but they're still building. So you want to beat them. And then you're going to, you know, get moments like this. Oh, yeah, I would have lost my head too. I would have gone, whew, that ref, you know, if he showed me yellow, I might be quiet. But if he didn't show me, I keep going.
So are you telling me that a referee has never given a free kick and then somebody scored from the free kick?
Yeah.
And then they don't do the same thing and complain about the free kick?
Yeah.
I don't recall hearing anybody going mental about it. I mean, it happens all the time.
It does.
It happens more than you think.
It happens, and people complain, and they move on.
Right.
But Stevie, you're going to complain. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to start. You're not going to start crying for VAR and this and that. You know. I mean, there's one thing to complain, but you can take it too far.
Which he hasn't.
Nah.
Getting close.
I don't know what all the
Getting
fuss is
close.
about. I don't have a problem with that goal at all.
I'm sure you don't.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard.
Oh,
to
you
stay
wouldn't, 'cause you don't get
concentrated
many.
When the relatively mighty Manchester United is breathing down your back
right.
to come back and snatch a point.
It's not like you can go, well, there'll be another one shortly. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Not my fault. Just I'm saying. Did you ever have this confidence in one of your teammates that once he touched the ball, you knew it was going in, that you could probably celebrate already from the halfway line?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Rushy.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, Barnesy. I mean, in a situation like that, you know. Now, I never quite put my hands up like that.
Right.
And celebrate.
But then I didn't have in my contract, I didn't have an assist bonus in it, which I'm sure Mr. Cherky's got. So I'm pretty, as soon as he sees him going clear, he's thinking,
Sure, he's
yeah,
counted
He's
his bonus. That's what it is.
He's like,
got his bonus sorted.
ka-ching.
Boy.
Yeah.
Shaka, what about you? I know you were all the way at the end, but even all the way at the end, could you see?
Probably the only player that you could have that confidence in is somebody like Alan Shearer. One-on-one, I still don't think there's a better finisher in the game. Let's not get into that conversation ruling
Oh,
out again.
jeez, let's not.
But Alan Shearer was as reliable in front of goal as anybody I've seen.
All right, like I alluded to, the Champions League is back this week.
Boy.
The defending champions PSG are hosting the only remaining perfect team this season in Bayern Munich. What a clash of the Titans here. All right, Stevie, who has more to prove in this matchup?
Probably Bayern. You know, I guess we know PSG, when they're at the best, will beat anybody on the planet. And we're watching Bayern Munich this season thinking they've been at their best all the way through the Bundesliga. But is that going to translate from the Bundesliga into the Champions League? That's the only question we've got left in terms of Bayern Munich. You know, in terms of going forward, they've been exciting in terms of scoring goals. Surprise, surprise, Harry Kane, you got Elise, you got Diaz. I mean, going forward, they're as good as anybody. But it's been in the Bundesliga. And so I guess the question will be answered. Can they translate that dominance and that quality in the Bundesliga? Can they translate that into a big game like this against maybe right now not playing the best football they've ever played, but
Still the team to
arguably
beat.
the best team to beat?
Shaka, do you agree? Is that how you see that? We want to see if Bayern really are at the Champions League level. And you kind of sense that that is what Vincent Kompany wants as well.
Absolutely. Listen, well, Bayern Munich are the Champions League level. They are one of the favourites to go on and win it. But just kind of given their season so far, undefeated in all competitions, 15 wins, this is you could make the argument this is their first true test, their biggest test. Yes, they beat Chelsea at home at the start of the Champions League. Other than that, Pathos and Bruges, two teams you'd fully expect them to win every single time. And now this is to really show who Bayern Munich are. Are they this team that are breaking all records in terms of a starter season, or are they just a big team in a weaker league that are taking advantage of everybody else around them? This is a true test for Bayern Munich here against PSG.
Well, Stevie, you had picked PSG to actually win this one on Saturday. What was the scoreline?
I'm going to go 2-1 PSG.
Shaka, what about you?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. PSG at home, 2-1. They as well have a lot to prove themselves in that this season has not been perfect. Certainly, as you would expect, given their standards. But this is a team built for the big games, and this is a big game as well. So PSG, for me, win this one by 2-1.
Mario, what's your score prediction for this one?
Yeah, I think PSG. I go for PSG. 2-1. 2-1, I think it's a nice score.
All right, so
nice
PSG
A
all
hat-trick.
around.
It's a nice score.
Frank Leboeuf must have gotten to everybody here. No? Okay.
It's not good when everybody picks one team, though.
No,
History
so
has
what
shown
this all
that.
means is that Bayern Munich are going to win this one.
16-1.
When did MD ever listen to
Let's head to MLS playoffs, shall we? Columbus hosting Cincinnati. Cincinnati leading this series 1-0, 33rd minute. Max Arvson scoring right here. as Columbus take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, good pressure on that last defender, and then Arsenal with a super finish.
38 minutes now. Herrera is through on goal, but he's pulled down by Kubo, and he'll be sent off here. Right decision?
Absolutely the right decision. Kubo doesn't show the quickest recovery, just drags Herrera down. Referee had no choice.
Well, Cincinnati down to 10 men, and then Columbus double their lead here.
Yeah, it's a nicely taken free kick. Keeper can't react.
65th minute now. Herrera will be back on the attack, and he's going to get another goal right here from Ale Moreno range, really.
Without question, that's Moreno range.
Yeah, that first touch reminded me of Moreno.
Not the most delicate of touches are Ale Moreno, right? All right, well, this game ended 4-0, and Columbus now forces a winner. Game 3 is on Friday. Austin up against LAFC.
Oh,
Matthew McConaughey there.
Shy lad.
All right.
All right.
Love me some Matthew McConaughey. 21st minute now, Sonny scoring after a couple of Cristiano Ronaldo-esque stepovers. LAFC 1-0. 25th minute now, Xhaka.
Oh, goalie.
Xhaka.
Yeah?
Xhaka. I'm just saying, look at the keeper. Can he get back? No, he doesn't. And Dennis Bouanga, who's been on fire with
to
Sonny.
avoid the handball here, but
Okay,
that is a long way back. Let me tell you, that's a long way back.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
boy. Oh boy.
Oh, jeez. Your teammate's going to give you a long look down after that. 44th minute now, Dennis Bouanga gets his second.
Wow, nice finish.
Nice little... Ooh.
Fixed his score, fixed his shoot, and then a little cut inside before he does score.
All right, well, an Austin FC player appears to be fouled in the box. VAR would take a look,
Flailing arm catches him in the face.
and the ref says penalty.
I agree with that call. No problem at all. Berra steps up, makes no mistake.
Into stoppage time we go. Austin giving away the ball, and will they be punished?
You
already know it's coming.
Goalie knows better than
He
to come
knows.
this time, and then what happened? You
thought-
see, he might as well just come running out.
He thought about it, didn't he?
He did. He had a little. Yeah.
All right, well, LAFC win this one. They take the series and they move on. So Heung-min Son and LAFC will travel to Vancouver to take on Thomas Muller, another legend of the game, and the Vancouver Whitecaps. All right, welcome into Extra Time. And I just realized I don't think I have extra time, guys.
Okay.
So we're just
So
going to try.
go home. So we just get to go home. Is that how it works?
See you later.
Is that right? Yeah. All right.
It's just like a free-for-all, I suppose.
Can we just ask our own questions?
We can ask There we go. All right. We got extra
Come on.
time. Oh, we got it. The golden paper. All right. Ooh. First question. Let's see if they match up. Stevie's thoughts on Mo Salah. Is he past his best, or can he still rediscover his form from last season? Did complete only one dribble prior to the match against Villa.
I would suggest dribbling isn't really his forte. I've seen him stand on it quite a bit. But the answer is yes, he can. I mean, there's not a player ever played the game, professionally or otherwise, who hasn't gone through a tough spot. And that's all this is. And by the way, in case everybody's forgotten, he scored in the last 2 games. So, yeah, absolutely, he can get back to his best.
I think he heard when you were suggesting that the gaffer might have no choice too soon but to drop him. And then he said, all right, Stephen Nicol.
Well, if it helped, great, but I'm guessing it didn't.
It didn't. Anyone else want to chime in? Mario, you think he can rediscover that form that we saw last season?
Yeah, and also what they have to be careful with, that they don't change the system, because if they play 4-4-2 with Salah on the outside, that I don't think is his position. But you know, like how they used him really well against Villa, because he was the outlet for them. They kept on passing the ball to him and holding it up. So I think if Liverpool get that confidence back, then Salah will also be way more dangerous because he'll be closer to the opponent's goal. Because the confidence dropped a little bit, that's why the distance is bigger, and then it becomes harder for him because we have to be honest, he's getting older too. But away from that, yeah, he can definitely, come on, he scored again. He keeps on scoring.
All right. Next question.
Willie gave him one, but it's all right.
Still count?
That's very true.
I love the
He's
glass
getting
half.
older, I said it.
Glass
but-
half full, Steve Nichols. I
Stevie's-
love it. I
you
love
know that
it.
Stevie's been like floundering from glass half full when it comes to Liverpool to glass half empty.
Boy.
So then slightly.
Yes.
It's
Understandably.
okay, you're going through
Yeah,
it. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the emotional roller coaster
Yeah.
of disappointment.
Not only do players go through it, so does Stevie.
That's why you have to celebrate the little wins, you know? Like little threes in a row. Do you know
Yes,
what that's
okay.
like? No, you don't recently.
No.
Spoken like a true Manchester United fan.
Mature is not a word I've been called.
3 in a row for us is kind of insignificant. That's the difference.
Oh, well, it's very significant now.
man.
It's very significant
Boy,
now.
let me stay away.
You would love a 3 in a row now.
Well, we're going for 3 in a row at the weekend.
Oh, we'll see.
Hey,
Whatever. All right, let's get into the next question.
I didn't think of that.
see those pesky facts?
I didn't think of that.
Keep getting in the way.
Oh, who cares about facts and stats? All right, why do you think Spurs are so bad at home? Ouch.
I don't know. They are awful. They are awful. I saw something the other day. They've nearly lost as many home games at this new stadium as Arsenal have lost at the Emirates. Arsenal have been there since 2009 or
jeez.
wherever it is. Or wherever it is. Been a long time.
Yeah.
My point. And Spurs have almost caught them in home losses in, what, 3 years, 4 years?
I think under Frank, they're so well organised and do everything as one all the time that it actually suits them when they're away from home. Because generally when you're away from home, the home team are the team that the onus is on to go forward.
Yeah.
And so it suits them. So when they do go forward, when they're away from home, they have more space and more time. But when they're at home and they're forced to go on the front foot, when somebody like Xavi Simons, who was brought in to be the creator, isn't at it, then they're going to struggle. So going forward, they're probably lacking.
He's not
They're
away
suitable.
from home either, though.
So,
Yeah, but other people have been able to step up because of the more time and more space, whereas at home, they've got less time, less space, they don't have as many creative players, and so at home it just seems to be harder for them.
So Mario, what Stevie's saying is that they're so bad at home because it's Xavi Simons' fault.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it's not only that. I think when they no, I don't think that. Because there are
I
more
don't think that
individuals on the
either.
field. I just think that when they come out, you understand. I think they normally when you see Frank's teams, it was always like the counter attack. There was speed up front. They could really surprise you. And I think at the moment they are working on that because we are not seeing no surprises yet from them. And I think that's one. And on the other part is the impact of the stadium sometimes can put some weight on them shoulders. So I hope they push it away because it's a nice stadium. So you want to deliver some nice football too. And I think that's what they're struggling with.
All right, let's go to the next question because it is an interesting one. Ten Hag to Wolves. Does appointing him guarantee relegation or does it offer a good chance of safety? For those who don't know, that Wolves are currently in talks with, I believe, Gary O'Neill, but Ten Hag is also one of the names, Eric Ten Hag is one of the names that has been linked with the job there at Wolves. So, does it guarantee relegation or offer a good chance of safety?
Well, I think you'd have to say it. There's more chance of relegation.
Yeah.
Right?
Why? I don't get the Ten Hag appointment.
Yeah.
I don't get the Ten Hag appointment.
Mario, anything for you fellow Dutchmen here? Because the guys are just piling on.
No, but the guys, you know what? You got to look at it as well. The way he is as a coach, he wants to play football. He wants to play open. He wants to play a certain way. Wolves is not there. That's not a team. So I don't see anything going the positive way. I think you need someone there. You're in a relegation situation. You need someone that brings character and builds the player to a level that they know they have to survive. But if you're going to bring a coach in that wants to play nice football and try to build something, no. I'm not, no. I don't think this is the right team for him, and I don't think this is the right fit.
Next question is for Shaka. Shaka, a lot of keepers seem to have trouble with punches. So how often did you practice punches in a responsible fashion? And would do a dozen or so in a row and with defenders in the box?
Yes, you practice punches with either hand
How often?
a couple times a week. I mean, it's kind of part of practicing taking crosses. You do that a couple of times a week at least, and you throw a few punches in there. Like everything else, it's more difficult. It's more difficult in a match situation than it is in practice, and because players are kind of clever, and you saw that with Donnarumma in terms of holding your hands on nudging you just at the right time. I also think it's more difficult now. Back in my day, you could take half a head and nobody.
Yeah, nobody would blink twice. You just say, get up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be fine, you know.
Say,
So
get up, you're fine.
now you can't do that. It's almost a little bit more difficult now.
The game's gone.
Yeah, well, Ryan, but it's also soft.
Yeah.
Little punch to the head never hurt anybody.
Stevie, how often did you practice punches?
Well,
On a Friday night after
we
the
used to
football?
practice getting out the road of goalkeepers.
Oh,
punches.
yeah.
Did you ever land on the end of one?
They
No,
are.
no, it was after you. On you go. You're all right.
Mario, what about you?
Or you know, if they don't punch, they jump out and put their foot forward so you hit their struts. And they say, oh, sorry. I know Shaka was one of them once.
Well,
Yeah.
Shaka.
I'm admitting to nothing.
He was a lean, mean machine back in the day.
We're trying to say.
Now he's just lean and still.
Yeah, all right, okay. Don't try to backtrack. Long time ago he was lean. Long time ago.
I said, now you're still lean and
No,
mean.
don't try to backtrack.
Not sure if
Too
that
late.
machine is quite machining.
Too late. HR.
Just digging myself. Final question, and it's for Mario. Mario, did you watch or celebrate the Dodgers winning the World Series?
I was happy, you know, because look, when you live in a town and people are happy with celebrating and everything, look, and seeing them win it again, because now it's back to back, it's never a bad thing. I'm also going to be honest, I'm not the guy that is really equipped into the baseball stuff, but I definitely had it at school, so coming to LA and seeing them win it again, yeah, of course, you cannot miss it.
All right, we'll leave it at that because we're more of the cricket type.
Yeah.
I really didn't know how else to chime in for that one.
The
But,
Dutch
you
play
know,
cricket as well?
The Dutch play cricket as well. I know that because they've knocked
They've knocked West
the
Indies
West Indies out of qualifying a couple of times.
They play badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Guys, you could send us cricket questions as well. We'd happily
Will
take
we?
that on.
I don't know what's going on with cricket. Let's
The
rather
action is
stop
coming
because
on.
we'll see two grown people start to cry here.
Yes, you will, actually. Scotland also knocked us out of a World Cup once, but we won't get into that. Anyways, ESPN FC, we don't cry as much on the main show. We are on back again tomorrow. Jurgen Klinsmann will be joining us, so do tune in.